Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be opening up Dominaria. Let's get started. I love this set. This is when I got back into Magic. Alrighty. Put these up here. And we get started. Open up so nicely. Go through our comments pretty quickly. Remember, there's a legendary in every pack, I believe. Okay, uncommons, Wizard's Retort, Whisper Blood. Here we go. We got a rare land, very nice. Hinterland Harbor, pretty sweet. And we got a foil common. Alright, and we're uncommon slot. Really powerful uncommon. The Eldest Reborn. Double Strike Knight. Two-Headed Giant. Not the rare you want to see coming out of Dominaria. Looking for Fairy. No rare lands. Syncopate's a pretty sweet common. This also was a powerhouse in limited and even standard. Played a lot of standard back then. Settle the score. Good old Icy Manipulator. Another Whisper. Thrawn Temple Gateway. That's pretty good. You may put an historic permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Pretty sweet. Packs open up really nice. There we go, we got an elf. Woodland Weatherlight, Goblin Bombardage, Fond Glory, and a 7/7 Trample. The only downside is it doesn't untap, but whenever you cast an historic spell, you can untap it. Pretty sweet. Not really a card that gets a lot of play, but you play it in artifacts. Wheat of Memory. Guy's Blessing, a card that does see a lot of play. Rona. Dread Shade. Not a lot of play, but not bad for 3/3 for 3 with pumping. Divination's in there. Firefest. Trickster, definitely a play that gets card that gets played still even in modern Revoke. Precognition Field. You may look at the top card of your library. You may cast the top card of your library if it's instant or sorcery. Pay 3 to exile the top. Gets limited play sometimes, but not seen a ton. Lava Runner definitely was in red. Opt. Thorn Elemental. Dampening Spirit. There we go. There's a modern playable. So is Dauntless Bodyguard. And our first mythic. Flash. When it enters the battlefield, copy target instant or sorcery you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Other wizards you control get +1/+1. This is a great commander card as well. So pretty sweet. We'll put it over here in the pretty sweet pile. Some fun limited format. All right. Sentinel, another disciple. There we go. Got another rare land. Very sweet. Even settle the score. Pretty sweet. Especially with all the planeswalkers. Tatiova, really great commander card. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life and draw a card. And the Archaeologist. Enters the battlefield and you return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast an historic spell, put a 1/1 counter on it. And we got a rare foil in here. Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. 4/4 for 4. Has Vigilance. 2 and a white, tap it. Create a 2/2 Knight token with Vigilance. Black, tap it. Tap X, untap Knights you control. Destroy target creature with power X or less. Not a card that gets a ton of play, but is a really good card. It's definitely slightly undervalued, I would say. Sphinx, Song of Rarelease, pretty good. Knight of Grace, a card I played a ton of. Troy's Familiar also gets played a lot in artifacts. And Morrowind, there's a great commander for you. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Morrowind and tap to add mana equal to Morrowind's power. Really great. Bump there. Cabal Paladin. Broken Bond. In Bolus's Clutches. Shield of the Realm. Tetsuku, very good. Still played a lot in Commander, actually. For Unblockable. There we go. Return all legendary permanent cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. This was another great set that had all these legendary sorceries where you can, get a bunch of lands or get destroy all non-legendaries. Everything was focused on legendaries in this Dominaria. Onslaught, Champion, Shaun Assisse's Legacy, also really good. There we go, Helm of the Host. Godo, win condition right there. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of an equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary. If equipped creature is legendary, that token gains haste. Sorry, if equipped token isn't legendary. So what that means is you can equip Godo and then make multiple Godos and swing for the win. Or you can use this with Kiki Chiki. There's a lot of different commander combos around Helm of the Host. Really great card. I'm going to adjust our camera just a little bit here. There you go. Artificial Assistance, still a pretty good card to use. Adventurous Impulse, been reprinted a bunch. Got a lot of Saprolan synergies in this deck. This would have been a good sealed pack. Board of the Weatherlight. Wizard's Lightning, really good card, still used a lot. A lot of the wizards, like the first counter spell we got, and now the burn spell. Mishra's Self-Replicator. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create a copy. That can get pretty bonkers pretty quickly, but at 5 mana, it's kind of hard to justify that much for this effect. Another opt. Botanic Serpent, also used at the beginning of your end step. You can untap an artifact. Definitely played in artifact decks. Blink of an Eye is also really good. Tome, Excavator, Slimefoot, another really fun commander that people love. Whenever sapperling you control dies. Let's see if we can get this in focus. There we go. Whenever sapling you control dies, Slimefoot the Stowaway deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. Pay 4 and make a sapperling. So this can get pretty bonkers pretty quickly. And we got a Gilded Lotus, really nice. 5 mana, you can tap it to add 3 mana of any one color. Very cool. Another Lava Runner. Ashes. Another Elf. Another Genius. Rare is Vampire. Flying, whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. You can pay 3 in a red, deal 2 damage to a target creature. And we got a foil plate. Siege of Latnum, second artifact, draw a card. Got the Juggernaut. 9/3 Frog Spirit, there we go. And Siege Gang Commander, there we go. Very classic red goblin card. Enters the battlefield, you create 3 1/1 red goblins. You can pay 1 in a red, sack a goblin, and it deals 2 damage to any target. Very sweet. Put that in the cool pile. And I'm just gonna clean up our camera and I'll come right back. All right, welcome back. Our camera was drooping a little bit on its new stand, so we got it a little bit higher. And we will keep going here. More sapling synergies. Elf mana, another Juggernaut. The Djinn, he may pay 3 in a blue, tap an untapped artifact you control rather than pay its mana cost. Get a 5/6 with flying. Very sweet. Great limited card. Another Opt, another Gitu. Curious Ward. Enchanted permanent has hexproof. When it leaves the battlefield, if it was historic, draw 2 cards. Another Tico. Lynch's Mastery. Hexproof, you can't lose the game. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, for each 1 life you lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. Really interesting build around that some people like to give to other people and then make them sag it. Goblin Bard, Triumph, there's our Legendary. The Antiquities War. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them. Put it in your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Then chapter 3, artifacts you control become artifact creatures with base power and toughness 5/5. I believe this was the first set to have sagas in it. So this is one of the first sagas that existed in Magic. And we got a Teferi emblem. That's pretty sweet, we'll put that there. Hopefully we get ourselves a Teferi as well. Soul Savage, also pretty good. In limited. Blink of an Eye. Got a Phantom. Howling Golem. That's a fun one. Ooh, Teshar, another great commander card. Flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very cool. Steal Away, really great card. Cast Down, another great card. There we go, another one of these legendary sorceries. So you may only cast these legendary sorceries only if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Put up to one target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Destroy up to one target creature or planeswalker. And then exile this. So you have to steal the best creature or planeswalker from a graveyard and destroy the best one. Pretty good. Feels like there's more in this pack. There we go. Got a foil common. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains reach until end of turn. Still waiting on that to fairy. See if it comes here. Another dampening sphere. Empty one. Hey, we got a mythic. Don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but Flying Trample 7/7. If it was die instead, exile it with 3 8 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's exiled with an 8 counter on it, remove an 8 counter. Then if it has no 8 counters, return it to battlefield. So basically when it dies, it gets to spend 3. Flying Trample Haste. Not bad at all. Really nice one. Surprised people don't play that more, because it's really hard to get rid of it. I believe that would be a limited bomb for sure. Pay 2 second creature, draw a card. Another Icy Manipulator. Really great legendary. Death Touch Lifelink, 3/3 for 5. Other legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. Play this in a dedicated legendary deck. Be pretty sweet. And a land, Clifftop Retreat. You're doing well with the rare lands in this set. Got 3 of them so far. Let's say we're almost a third through now. Another Syncopate. Another Song of Prayer Release. You can combine your turn for each aura and equipped. Get a 3/3 elemental, that's pretty cool. Ooh, one of the best Sunderings. Another legendary spell in blue. This one, take an extra turn. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. Return up to 1 target non-legendary permanent to its owner's hand. So bounce one of their best things and take a next turn. Or you can bounce one of your things if you need to reset a planeswalker or something. Pretty sweet. And we got a foil land in there. Foil uncommon land. Script Processor. Really good goblin card. Lingering. Sierra Angel. Very nice. Another Sage. Ooh, a very sweet mythic. Multani. Reach Trample. Gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. 1 in a green, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Then return Multani from your graveyard to your hand. Really sweet mythic. And it's an elemental. If that matters, your elemental synergies. Pierce the Sky. Broken Bond. Another elemental. Not as sweet of a saga, but pretty good still. Another Tatiova, that's a huge hit. This guy, Josue Vess, Lynch King Knight. This guy was crazy. If you pay its kicker cost, so it's a 4/5 with Menace for 4 already. That's really good stats. But if you pay 6 extra, it enters the battlefield. You create 8 2/2 black zombie night creatures with Menace. So super endgame bomb. Definitely a sweet card. If you have the mana dump. Otherwise, he's a 4/5 with Menace for 4, which is really, really good stats. clutches again. Nature Spiral. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand for 2. Sorcerer's Wand. And our rare. If a wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, the ability triggers an additional time. This also is a great commander rare for a wizard's deck. Alright, we're on our last stack here. Still no Planeswalker. Another Dauntless Bodyguard, another Spiral. Fight with Fire is also pretty sweet if it has a kicker. So it's 2 in a red for a sorcery, deal 5 damage to target creature. If it was kicked, it deals 10 damage divided as you choose among any target. Pretty crazy. And our rare, Lifelink, pay 4, exchange your life total with its power. Not too bad. Can get bonkers at times. Another Saga, another Wand. Ooh, Cinderwind. Flying Haste, whenever you cast an instant sorcery, wizards you control will get +1/+1 until end of turn. Wizard Tribal. Goblin Trainwaller. Definitely was a mainstay of standard, limited, goblins, anything. Historic now. It's a 3/3 for 3 with first strike. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control and each planeswalker they control. This guy can wipe a board or do a lot of damage, finish off a planeswalker, and it has first strike. So definitely a sweet pull. Mortal Unity, Sanctum Spirit, lifelinking 3/2 Spirit, discard a historic card, gains Indestructible. Man, we are getting all of them. Very cool. This is the green one. It has X green green. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of land and or legendary permanent cards with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put legendary cards right onto the battlefield and put the rest in the graveyard. Very, very sweet and very powerful card. And we got a little foil common there. Okay, just the last few packs here. Tragic Poet. Okay, we got George Familiar. Time of Ice. So it's a 4 mana uncommon saga. Tap target creature an opponent controls. It does an untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Time of Ice, so it's more than just a 1-turn freeze. Return all tap creatures to their owner's hand at the end of it. It's really sweet. And then our legacy, Tempest Gin, another card played, mono blue tempo. 3 blue for a 0/4 flying, gets +1/+0 for each basic island you control. This was a 4/0 in many decks. Mono blue decks for sure. Not really seen outside of mono blue. Shivan Fire is also a good one with kicker. Cast down, destroy target non-legendary. There's this Tomb. Pay 3, draw a card, then discard a card unless you exile a historic card from your graveyard. Lyra Dawnbringer. There we go. She's my angel. I have a playmat with Lyra, one of my favorite cards from the set. 3 and 2 white for a 5/5 flying first strike lifelink. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. There we go. One of my favorite cards from Dominaria. We got to crack it. Feel really good about that. Pretty sweet. Final parting, search your library for 2 cards, put one of them in their hand, the other in the graveyard, then shuffle your library. Great combo card. Spore Swarm, Whispers. Panache Marshal, really great lord for basically any deck, but other creatures you control, so it's not just a tribe, but it is a human and a knight. So it goes your knight's deck, your human's decks. And just a 3/3 for 3 that makes everything else bigger. Pretty sweet. And we got a foil deep freeze. 3 packs left. See if we're lucky enough to crack it for fairy. Hero of Dominaria, be the hero of this box opening. Got our uncommon land. And third, Tatiova. Man, Tatiova loves to show up in this box. There we go. Another sweet mythic. You know, played all over the place in Commander. Muldrofa, 3 black, green, blue. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. Card has multiple permanent types. Choose one as you play it. It's a 6/6. So really great pull. Great commander card. Looks like we got a rare Saga foil here. The Mending of Dominaria. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then chapter 3. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then shuffle your graveyard into your library and start over. Really great rare. Very good foil. Beautiful. 2 packs left here. Man, this box is really opening up at the end here. It's pretty sweet. Best top chart. A lot of great 1-drops in the common slot in this one. Untamed Kavu. The Black Knight, very nice. Knight of Malice. So first strike, hexproof from white, gets +1/+0 as long as any player controls a white permanent. Our Abe Warrior, if you kick him, he gets 5 counters. Whenever attacks alone, double the power and toughness still on a turn. Really sweet. Ooh, Woodland Cemetery. We are getting almost all the rare lands from this box. And moving to our final pack of Dominaria. This has been a really sweet opening. Pretty happy with how it turned out. Hammer's Compass. Get the Flame of Helm. Ensnare's Wings, definitely use this a lot. Enchanted creature is legendary, gets +1/+1, has flying, vigilance, and lifelink. And the Wizard. Burnt Force. The beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling. So it's on everybody's turn. And there you go. That's our Dominaria box. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and catch you next time. We'll be opening up some Double Masters VIP. We also have a box of Throne of Eldraine. Thanks.